In the last 2 decades, southeastern Minnesota has experienced substantial growth, with Rochester leading the trend. From 2010 to 2022, its population increased by 14%, driving significant changes in the area and leading to the creation of the DMC Corporation.
Back in 2010 and 11, our city was growing so fast, we didn't have the tax base to keep up with that growth. So we needed to figure out a solution for that.
In the process of finding a solution, city officials conducted interviews to investigate what was working with the city's expansion and what was not.
We also learned that from an experience perspective, that people weren't having the best experiences downtown. Our patients were looking for more, our community members were looking for more. So combining those two efforts together, we were able to build the DMC initiative.
The objective behind the Destination Medical Center Corporation, known as the DMC, was to organize the resources, the vision, and the community to become proactive with its growth. Patrick Sieb is the executive director of the DMC and says that without a central vision, most growing cities cannot survive.
And that is what happens in a lot of cities. Changes happen. There's not enough resources to manage it. There's not a collective vision. There's not a proactive approach to it. And so cities become sort of victim to what's happening around them. And that really was what I think was the idea behind Destination Medical Center by the people who were the original innovators around that idea.
As Mayo grows.
10 years ago, Kim Norton, now mayor of Rochester, was a Minnesota state legislator and one of those innovators who also witnessed the pace in which the city was growing.
As a legislature, we had to work with the city and the legislature to assure that whatever language we put into law met the needs of the state and also the city of Rochester. So ultimately, while we designed it so that there was that corporation board and the EDA, that at the end of the day, it's the city of Rochester that has the power to approve all the projects.
Did you find it difficult at the beginning to get everyone on board behind this?
Absolutely. Yeah, this was not an easy lift. I think people don't always understand that. Usually initiatives like this, other large initiatives, and you can liken it to the Viking Stadium or the Twin Stadium or other large developments, take many, many years. And this was done in a very short period of time, in 1 year. So that's pretty remarkable.
Having the mayor, the sitting mayor, having been one of the originators makes a big difference, because we know she's committed. We know she's was one of the people who gave birth to the idea and supported the idea, and now she's in this great place to continue to support it as it advances.
There are 3 characteristics that make the DMC unique across the country. It comes with a governance structure, it has a long-term commitment of 20 years, and it is resourced.
We knew there'd be growth. I think we weren't quite prepared for the $5 billion announcement as that growth, but it is for Mayo's growth as well as our whole community and the whole downtown's economic growth.
The amount of $5.6 billion is so unprecedented in Minnesota that it bears repeating where it originated. Mayo Clinic and private investments are the biggest contributors, with $3.5 billion and $2.1 billion respectively. The state of Minnesota is providing $585 million, which includes $128 from the city of Rochester and $46.4 from Olmsted County. The funds are managed by the DMC's governing board, which consists of 8 members appointed by the governor of Minnesota, local elected officials from Olmsted County and the city of Rochester, and a representative of Mayo Clinic.
Their work also has to be supported and approved by city council. So there's this check and balance, this equilibrium of authority and responsibility that I think really is ingenious in terms of how it works.
So far, the initiative has worked on numerous projects, creating more jobs, restaurants, and hotels as it continues to prepare for what's to come in the future.
This community is a community of health and healing. And it's not just Mayo Clinic, and Mayo Clinic is wonderful and obviously the best in the world, but part of what makes it the best in the world is the environment around it, the community around it, how the community, through its businesses, through its hospitality, through the way people behave, helps support Mayo Clinic and support visitors here.
Despite the checks and balances and continuous partnership with the community, there are still some criticism about the DMC initiative. Tonight, we take those questions to the leaders running the DMC and steering growth in Rochester. In studio, Karina Coronel, KTTC News.